What is up, car addicts? In this video, we'll be talking about this week's Triple Money Event Week, as well as the property and vehicle discounts. This event week is for March 10th through March 23rd, 2022. So yes, this event week is strangely 2 weeks instead of the usual 1 week, which I guess makes sense with the new gen console versions releasing on the 15th. Also to mention, this event week has a lot of discounts and triple money opportunities repeating from the event week from a couple weeks ago, so keep that in mind. This is a strange event week for sure. But anyways, the current prize ride for this week is the Pfister Comet S2 Cabrio. This car is primarily based on the Porsche 992 911 Cabriolet. It has a normal price of just under 1.8 million, so it's definitely not a cheap car. To get this car for free, you have to place top 1, meaning first place, in a Pursuit Series race for 5 days in a row, which definitely is one of the more difficult challenges we've had. Now, in terms of performance, the S2 Cabrio is in the sports car class and has a pretty average performance in terms of lap time, but in terms of top speed, it's actually in top 5 for the class, which is very impressive. It's a lot faster than the regular Comet S2 as well, both in terms of lap time and of course in top speed. Now, in terms of the test ride vehicles for this week, we have the Tulip, the Schlagen GT, and the Buffalo STX. Now, in terms of the casino podium vehicle, we have the Ubermacht Zion Classic. This car is primarily based on the E24 BMW M6. It has a normal price of about $800,000, so not a crazy expensive $1 million car like we're used to seeing on the podium, but it's still expensive nonetheless. Now, in terms of performance, this car is in the Sports Classics class and is around 10th place for lap time, so it's not a slow car, but definitely off the pace of some of the top cars in that class. So, starting off with the property discounts, we have 40% off the hangars, as well as 40% off office furniture, the living quarters, and the workshop upgrades as well. Moving on to vehicle discounts, we have 30% off the Cheetah Classic, one of the fastest cars in the Sports Classics class in terms of lap time. It's very similar in terms of driving feel and performance to the Turismo Classic. However, this one is a bit more stable on bumpy tracks, so I think it's definitely worth owning. If you don't own one, I highly recommend picking it up this week. It's definitely a great deal. Moving on to the 7 San Andreas website, we have 25% off the Buffalo STX. This, of course, is the current king of the muscle car class by quite a substantial margin, having both really good top speed, sports car level of handling, and great acceleration as well. It's basically a sports car in the muscle car class. Now, I'm pretty sure most of you already own this car, but if you don't, make sure to pick it up this week. Next up, we have 30% off the Tulip. So this car is of course in the muscle car class and is actually decently quick in terms of track performance, placing itself in top 15 for lap time, which is very impressive for an older 4-door muscle car. Moving on to the Warstock website, we have 30% off the Tula, which normally is way overpriced and now it's almost $1 million cheaper. Whether it's worth the price tag is fully up to you. I personally think it's not, but I know there's many other people in the community that do believe it's worth that price. Next up, we have 15% off the Hydra, which of course is one of the best jets in the game. Moving on to the latest travels website, we have 40% off the Sea Sparrow, 30% off the Sea Breeze, 40% off the Alpha Z1, 40% off the Ultralight, and lastly, we have 30% off the Velum 5-seater. And yes, all of these aircrafts were on sale in the event week from a couple weeks ago, so I guess here's a second chance to get them if you weren't able to during that event week. In terms of clothing discounts, we have 30% off select clothing items from the contract DLC. In terms of clothing unlocks, if you complete a Franken and Lamar short trip mission, you'll unlock the black SA fitted cap this week, which is pretty cool. In terms of triple money, as I stated earlier, it is a repeat of the event week from a couple weeks ago. So we have triple money NRP on the Smuggler's Run Hanger Crate sales. This is one of the worst businesses in the game in terms of profit, but with triple money, it does make it a bit more worth your time, but still nowhere near Caio Perico level. Continuing, we have Triple Money NRP for air races, not really all that great. In terms of Double Money, we have Double Money NRP on the Adversary Mode Hunting Pack Remix, one of the more fun ones to do with friends. Next up, we have Double Money NRP on the Short Trip Missions. And lastly, we have Double Money NRP on Flight School, which again is repeating from the event week from a couple weeks ago. Moving on to the Prime Gaming discounts for Prime Gaming members only. So again, same as the last few months, we sadly don't have any Prime Gaming discounts currently in game. The only thing we have is the usual free $100,000 for logging in during the event week period. And lastly, this week's RC Bandito time trial is Davis Quartz. This week's normal time trial is Up Chiliad. I highly recommend either the Hakachu Drag, Shotaro, BF400, or a Baddie 801 for that time trial. And this week's premium race is the motorcycle race, A Sign of Things to Come. I highly recommend either the Shotaro or the Hakachu Drag for that race. Every Friday I post a guide on how to easily beat the time trials and premium race, so stay tuned for that if you're new. In terms of my vehicle discount pick of the week, I'm going to have to go with the Cheetah Classic. This is an insane deal for this car. For the level of performance it has, top tier in the Sports Classics class, I think it's very well worth its price. It's well under $1 million, and you have a car that has great customization, great performance, and that's very easy to drive as well. Anyways guys, hope this was helpful. Overall, this event week is pretty decent. I just find it a bit lazy on Rockstar's part that they're repeating most of the discounts and bonus money opportunities from the event week from a couple weeks ago. Especially since this one's going to be 2 weeks long, I feel like having repeated discounts and money opportunities on a 2-week event week is kind of annoying and not really that great on Rockstar's part, but at least we actually have discounts this week, unlike the last event week which had none. So take it as you wish. It would have been nice to have new discounts. They are repeating, but at least we have something. I'm hoping the next event week, or should I say the event week 2 weeks from now, is a lot better. Remember that pre-orders for GTA 5 for PS5 and Xbox Series X/S started on March 8th, and the game is releasing on the 15th. So make sure you guys pre-order it if you have one of the new gen consoles. Let me know how many of you have the new gen consoles down below in the comments, and if you already pre-ordered it or you're planning to get it by the 15th. Thanks for watching guys, hope you enjoyed, and I'll see you in the next one.